Hi guys, welcome back to the Nelson. It's me, hosted by Callum. I'm here with Jack and James. We're going to be talking Norwich City today. If you are new here, please subscribe. It's been great, having you guys watching the videos and listening to everything. Really appreciate it. And we did one fairly recently, but we're going to try and do these a bit more regularly now. Jack, it's just the end of the transfer window now. It closed yesterday. Overall, I want to start with you. What are your thoughts of everything?
It's been a good window. I mean, I would say if it is a great window if we stay up. Obviously, that's a big if, and it's still 3 games into the season. But this the most we've ever spent in the window, and it's something we're not used to because we normally always wouldn't say do things on the cheap, but we always find a good deal. But I think we might have obviously hopefully learnt a lesson from last time when we got promoted. We only spent 1.5 million on Sam Byram and a couple of loans. And that was it. And obviously how much we spent this season, obviously including Gibson and Unulas, securing them for the permanently. Obviously over 50 million, and obviously we've had obviously Buendier's departure, and we couldn't quite get Skip back in, but it's been a good window, and I'm confident that we'll kick on. And obviously, start of the season is a bit, it was never going to be easy, but I don't want to waffle too on because obviously that's other subjects to talk about. But it's been a good window, and I'm hopeful for this season.
Yeah, and James, I'll come to you. Out of all the new signings, who are you most excited to see?
I think after the League Cup game, I'm probably most likely to. Well, I'm most looking forward to Zolis. I think. Yeah. After his performance there, and don't get me wrong, that wasn't the best Bournemouth side at all. However, the performance, he was clearly man of the match of that match anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Premier League. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with him. Was it 2 goals, 2 assists? His ability was great. The way he controlled the ball for his goals were fantastic. His defensive work was just so impressive. It was a real man of the match, 10 out of 10 performance. Yeah, it was against a second string Bournemouth side with no striker and a jiggled round defence, but still, that's what you want to do. And it's a shame that he got injured, and hopefully he's got an international break. Hopefully he doesn't make the knock he got that put him out of the Leicester game worse by playing, and hopefully he can come back to us and be competitive, because I think that's a massive signing. If I don't, I'll go to the next one. I think Ozan Kabak. He was a name that I thought, it looked like maybe Liverpool had the option to buy him first. They decided to go get Konate from RB Leipzig instead. It looked like Kabak was then going to go to Leicester. They chose to get Vestergaard. Jack, was the Kabak move a surprise to you? Because it certainly was for me.
It was for me as well, yeah. I mean, he sort of looks like that kind of, I mean, not a big name, but a big name for us. And you kind of think it's a bit unreal how we've managed to get him. Mostly it's a loan with an option to buy. But it's what we needed, really. Obviously, the main key area we needed is obviously a DM, and we finally got that with Norman. We'll talk about him later, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm glad we've got Kabak. As much as I love Hanley and Gibson, you can tell they were struggling this season. Again, obviously, we've played the top 3 teams in the league, but against obviously other teams like Burnley, Brighton, Watford, obviously, they'll still come at us when the opportunities come. And we just need that bit of extra, added competition, because obviously Bamidele, he's still young and upcoming, and technically his first full season, because obviously he only joined in the first team about April time last season. And obviously Zimmerman, I love Zimmerman as a guy, but he's not Premier League quality as same. So surprised when we got him, but we definitely need him. And I'm hopeful that he can solidify our defence.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and James, what do you think? Ozan Kabak, does he start ahead of Grant Hanley? Does he start ahead of Ben Gibson? Does he rest and wait on the bench for his opportunity?
It's a tough call, isn't it? Because I think what's difficult is the fact that we've come up against so far 3. Well, don't get me wrong, that Leicester City side wasn't the best, didn't have the best performance.
Yeah.
But on paper, I think so far we've come up against Liverpool, Man City, and Leicester, who are all like three really, on paper, really good quality sides. So it's really difficult to judge somebody Hanley or Gibson on those against those three teams, I guess, unless they made a really serious mistake. So I think for the time being, Kabak, when he's got he'll have a few training sessions in the bag before we play Arsenal, but I think he should start off on the bench and then come off it and wait for his chance for the time being, I think.
Interesting. I'd put him straight in personally. I think I'd put him in for Hanley. I don't know if anyone else would think that who's watching as well, but let us know obviously what you think. Does Ozan Kabak come straight in, or do we sort of bed him in slowly? I think someone of that quality you put him straight away. Brandon Williams, Barker clearly rates as well. Yeah, he made a mistake against Leicester, but I think Giannoulis made a mistake on his debut as well as a left back in the Championship last year. So it's not always easy for players to come straight in. I think Farke will recognise his talent and see that this is someone who played against Real Madrid in the Champions League last season for Liverpool. I mean, this is a good player for Norwich to have on their books this year and obviously an option to buy as well. So yeah, if we stay up, it's a great loan. Jack, also Norman, he's added in. Previously in England with Brighton, but never played with them. Goes out to Rostov, develops into a player now valued well over £10 million. How do you rate this one?
Obviously, I'll be honest, I didn't really heard of him too much until we were linked with him. But I mean, from what I've looked at, he looks like he could be a good player for us. And as said before, we were crying for a defensive midfielder, and I'm not surprised it took so long. I think we were kind of holding on and trying to see if we could get Skip back for another loan, but obviously we knew that wasn't going to happen because Nuno was obviously he's been impressive, Skip, but less of that. But Norman, I like the look of him, and obviously it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to go back to a 4-2-3-1 or carry on with the 4-3-3 and sort of have him, more holding, and obviously that gives a chance for if Lees Malou or Gilmore to go a bit forward more, or whoever he plays, McLean, and it's going to be interesting selections for sure. But he's going to be a name that will be first on the team sheet for me for sure.
Brilliant to see. James, we'll now move on to other bits of the window. Do you think Norwich did enough this transfer window?
I think at the minute we've so far signed, this window we signed players in priority positions, especially over the last couple of days. I think we definitely need a centre-back, definitely needed a holding midfielder, especially considering Oliver Skip didn't end up coming back. We've got a striker. And of course, we got Rashika who came in, and Zolis as well to come in and replace Buendia. So I think, in terms of getting priority positions, I think we've been successful, and I guess we've kind of got into a position where maybe we could have snapped up one or two more players just for that extra layer of depth.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's been, because of, as I say, those top priority positions, it's been a relatively decent transfer window.
Love that from you. So, Jack, I'm going to go back a little bit. I might sound like a broken record of this, but I'm going to bring up a player we sold. I was going to mention two other key names, so Vrancic and Teti, and the other one was obviously Buendia. So you missing Teti very much.
That's fine. We've got Norman, who's a Norwegian.
Yeah. In addition to them, we obviously saw loads of squad players, under 23 players leave, get released on loan, wherever. For them, but obviously Vrancic has gone to Stoke, Teti's gone back to Norway, Buendia going back to Buendia's gone to Villa for a massive sum of money. Will we miss them three this year? Whether it's to do with ability, leadership, or have we done enough to replace all three? Because all three of them were key squad members last year, even if they weren't starting all the time, Teti and Vrancic.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're definitely going to miss Buendia the most, and if we somehow kept hold of him, I mean, obviously we probably wouldn't have spent as much, but we would have. Yeah. I would have been very confident of us staying up, but we'll definitely miss him. Rashika coming in. I can see him obviously filling the role, but obviously, he's been probably one of our better players this season so far, despite obviously losing all three. In terms of Vrancic and Teti, obviously, Vrancic, obviously, we kind of were used to him more as an impact substitute, and I think sometimes you kind of want that, but he wasn't getting the game time, and I think he could have been a bit more frustrated, and he needed proper first team football, playing week in week out. In terms of Teti, obviously, last season he barely played at all. we used him when we needed him, and he was good upon. But he's also good for behind the scenes, because he is a role model. He's obviously very experienced. What is he, 35? I think he is now. But obviously, there's no good having him on the wage bill as just like someone behind the scenes. Obviously, we knew his time was up. So obviously, it's weird me saying we won't miss him as much, but we will miss his smile, obviously, because that's the best thing about him, as well as obviously, he's always been a fighter, and he's never put a foot wrong for us. But obviously, we'll miss all three. But in terms of who we've added to the club, we shouldn't miss them too much. Hopefully.
Yeah. No, yeah, and shout out some of the others as well, like Tribal, Lightness, Steeperman. I mean, these guys have really contributed. Shout out to Philip Heiss as well, club legend. But really, another massive shout out to Tim Closer. He had his contract terminated yesterday. That goal against Ipswich, the impact. Shame he couldn't keep us in the Premier League when he first came in, but he looked really impressive. And even though injuries have maybe hampered his time in Orange a bit and meant that it was a mistake to give him that new contract and went up, he's still a great character at Norwich, wasn't he? And always remembered, especially for that Ipswich goal. I mean, what a guy. But yeah, great. So that was our little transfer window review. Any of you two have anything else to add?
I don't know. Just looking forward to Arsenal away, I suppose.
Arsenal might have a few key players back. I've controversially said that I think we should start Ida, whether that's in a two up front or one up front, because I really think Arsenal look awful at defending crosses and jumping for headers and everything. And Ida has not got his Premier League goal yet. Can he get his first Prem goal on a big occasion? And we get it by utilising his height. I'm not sure.
You never know. You never know.
He looks like a very physical player, doesn't he, Ida?
Yeah.
Plays.
Yeah, and he's playing for Ireland as well.
Didn't he start?
He's starting tonight, I think. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he has a good international break, because that could really get his confidence up. And I'm sure that the move Sargent getting here hopefully motivates him a little more, because that's another striker he's now got to compete with. But yeah, guys, that was our mini transfer review. Hope you're all well, and if you're new here, of course, please smash that subscribe button, like, comment, share, all of that stuff. And really appreciate all of you guys. We will speak to you all soon on The Ball City.
Hope this helps.